Most people go through their entire adult life without ever questioning whether or not alcohol actually gives them something. And then, when they decide that they want to stop drinking, they struggle. They find it difficult and they find it challenging. Well, it absolutely doesn't have to be hard. In this video, I'm going to share 7 simple tips to make stopping drinking easier. Now, these tips have truly changed my life. It's basically the advice that I wish somebody gave to me when I was spinning my wheels, desperate for a solution. Hey guys, Leon Sylvester here. For those of you that are new to the channel, welcome. Now, just before we get into the video, I've actually put together a totally free training showing you the 3 biggest secrets that make stopping drinking effortless and enjoyable. You can get instant access to it by clicking the link in the description. Guys, before I successfully stopped drinking, I had tried what everybody else told me that I should do. I tried willpower, I tried AA, and I tried moderating, but nothing worked. I always ended up back at square one. In the video below, you'll learn about how willpower isn't required to stop drinking, how stopping drinking is actually enjoyable, and how there's nothing wrong with your personality. So again guys, make sure to click the link in the description to get instant access to that video. So the first tip that we're going to look at is writing the pain-pleasure list. Now, the pain-pleasure principle has been discussed by philosophers for hundreds of years. They are arguably the 2 biggest motivators that we have. That's right, moving away from pain or moving towards pleasure motivates us to do almost anything. The pain-pleasure list involves making a list with 2 headings. One is pain and one is pleasure. Under the pain heading, you write about all the pain that alcohol is causing you. That could include things like the hangovers, your family losing trust in you, not reaching your potential, health problems, these kind of things. You get the idea. And you want to write down as many reasons as you can. I could easily come up with 50. Then under the pleasure heading, write down all the pleasurable things that can happen when you stop drinking. In my instance, that would have been things like starting a business, getting a girlfriend, doing more travel, saving more money, feeling confident about myself, getting strong in the gym, and so on. Again, you want to write as many reasons as you can. I could easily write another 50 on this list as well. Now, this list can serve as a fantastic reminder when you are further into your journey. You can always look back at your list and remind yourself of who you were, and most importantly, who you are becoming. And you can remind yourself of the pain that you were once in. So guys, the second tip that I've got for you is educating yourself. And this is a big one. In fact, it's beyond big. It's absolutely huge. Generally, people do not understand that alcohol is a fancy marketed poison that has 0 benefits to drinking. In fact, I'd argue that the only reason that people think that alcohol has a single benefit to it is because somebody else has put that thought into their head. Most people that drink too much, they know that what they're doing is wrong, but they look around them. They look at, the marketing, they look at the endorsements, they look at the movies, and they think to themselves that the majority can't be wrong. This conditioning makes it extremely hard for people to stop drinking, but it can easily be overcome through education and first principles thinking. This is a huge thing that everybody who stops drinking needs to do. If you are serious about going this route, then you can simply watch YouTube videos, read books, or take comprehensive programs and hire a coach. Remember, alcohol gives you nothing. Now, the next tip that I have for you is to have a very clear vision of the person that you want to become. Whilst other stop drinking methods may well have you have a huge amount of focus of your time in the past, I take the complete opposite approach. The focus should be on building a better future. I didn't want to sit around in a corner and I didn't want to dwell on the past, and I wasn't prepared to live my life on the sidelines waiting for some magical moment when I can call myself a non-drinker. What I did is I created a vision. Creating a vision of the person that you want to be is one of the most powerful things that you can do on your journey. That means creating a crystal clear vision and asking yourself these kind of questions. What would my health look like? Would I be fitter, stronger, eating better, exercising more? How about your relationship with your significant other? How would that improve? Or how would you want to start looking for a new relationship? How would you want to serve your friends and family? What would your optimal friendship and family life look like? What would your work life look like? Would you be contributing more? Would you be working on your career or business more intensely? Or would you take a step back? How would your financial life improve? What direction would you want your financial life to go in? Would you start up old hobbies again or take up new hobbies? What about your spiritual life? Would you spend more time being present or would you take your faith more seriously? What other major goals would you set? You want to put all of this in writing. Create, just a one-page document where you let all these ideas flow. Get creative and continually ask yourself, who am I becoming? Once you have a better vision of where you want your life to go once you are sober, the next step is to start gathering momentum. For example, you may find that your business is a major area of focus once you have kicked the drink. So that might mean starting very small. It might mean talking to just one new potential client each day. If health is a major area of focus, it might mean just, starting to do a few push-ups or sit-ups or trading, soda for water. All you want to do is try and do something each day to work towards your new life. You do not, I repeat, you do not want to dwell in the past. Go towards the new version of you. But the trick is to start small and let the momentum build. Now, I'll admit it, I do say that people should go towards a better life. Now, these days, I can happily go to bars, restaurants, nightclubs, and I never crave alcohol. However, during my first few months, I avoided certain people, places, and situations. As we are already well aware, alcohol is a huge part of our society. It's ingrained into almost everything, and it's completely impossible to ignore it. But living in the shadows and attempting to avoid alcohol in every situation does not work. It is always going to be there. And this is why I put such a huge emphasis on first principles thinking. And again, that means listening to programs, watching videos, hiring coaches. You need to understand that alcohol gives you nothing. However, I knew that there would be certain people, places, and situations that I would struggle with, especially in the early days. Now, being around a heavy problem drinker, especially if it was somebody that I knew and I liked, was challenging. So I did the logical thing and I avoided these people like the plague. And it was the same with certain bars and events. I just didn't go. There was no point playing with fire. And I soon realized that these places that just revolved around alcohol, well, I didn't miss them at all. If you're trying to stop drinking, then just try to avoid any of these major triggers. And that might be events, people, or situations. But that doesn't mean that you should hide in the shadows. You should still embrace your new life. Just be smart. The next tip that I've got for you guys is to embrace the first 30 days. For me, the first 30 days were the most enjoyable. It was a walk in the park. A week or two into stopping, I felt this huge rush of euphoria. I knew I had beaten it. However, for some people, the first few weeks or even months can be challenging. People complain about being lethargic and having flu-like symptoms. If you're going to stop drinking, my tip is to embrace those 30 days. Whatever emotion that you feel, whether it's good or bad, it's all part of your process. It may be difficult or it may be easy, but whatever happens, you need to vow to get through it. Now, the 7th tip that I've got for you on how to stop drinking is to connect with other people living their best lives alcohol-free. Sometimes stopping drinking can be a lonely path. Because most people are conditioned into thinking that alcohol gives them something, when you stop, you can feel as though you're going against the grain. Now, luckily guys, we have the internet in our pocket, and there are plenty of communities and support groups that you can join. You can join the free Sober Clear community, which is a Facebook group, by clicking the link in the description. And we're an awesome community of people all living our best lives without alcohol. And again, guys, don't forget you can get the free training by clicking the link in the description. And if you want to learn more about my story or some of the benefits to stopping drinking, then click the video on the screen now.